Hi there, traders. There was a lot of activity in the market today, and we had a successful trade in the Great Britain JPY, which I closed out for plus 75 pips. And we had a trade that we avoided that would have been to the downside in the Euro JPY. And let's go through those two setups first to start things up. And you can see that yesterday in markets we had the push higher, and I set my fib levels up, and I was looking for a push down in the Euro JPY to the 133.32 level. You can see that the pair came down there pretty aggressively, and at about 5:45 we had a signal to, we had at about at 5 o'clock we had a signal to enter the trade at our target at 133.24, but I didn't like how aggressively this pair had come down, and there was also news that had just flowed out. So what we were looking for was a 15-minute positive candle, and we really didn't get one until that's not a positive candle. You can see that's about as bearish as it gets. We had to shoot up and then the wick and basically close break even. So our first one was about at the 133.12 level, and at that point I just decided to wait a little bit until North American traders came into play, because that's when more likely we were going to get a rebound, and that is exactly what happened. At 7:30 we had the rebound in that pair, but what was interesting is that they totally kept us out of a negative trade, and you can see that the target was 133.24, and it reversed right at 132.82, exactly 50 pips. So it is interesting that was basically a stop run right there, where they were looking for what traders have been looking, and traders have been trying to scalp on these pairs. And you can also see that we had support right around here at the spike lower around 132.93. Now let's look at the trade that we did, or at least I did, jump into, and it was pretty simple setup. We had a push down lower to the 50 fib around the 157.06 level. I actually jumped in, same thing, waited until about North American traders came in around 7:30. I jumped in, I think at 157 level, and basically it was a pretty nice sweep line higher. I did close out half the trade at 157.25 just because the way this trading went last week and yesterday with the break even, I just wanted to lock some profits in, and it looks like I should have definitely kept it going. But we moved up toward the what would have been the target at 157.53, and then at that point I closed the remainder out because we were closing it at 11:30. And take a look at this. You can see that there is definitely definitely was lots of resistance at that level. The pair had bounced off that price level once, twice, 3 times, and it looks like we're just drifting along right there right now at that level. And let's take a look at the Great Britain crosses that we like to follow, and we will see you know what, I just opened the wrong one. We can see that there weren't any trading setups that were really available to us today in those pairs. There we go. Great Britain, New Zealand. First, you can see that we needed to get a pullback all the way up towards the 191.65 level, and we didn't get that. And what's interesting is if we look at this, let's tighten this up, just make it a little bit easier to see. You can see yesterday that occurred. We had the push back down, then at 11:30 the spike higher, and at 191.65, and then the pair actually moved down all the way to hit that resistance, hit the target, which would have been at 190.14. And let's see that happened also in the Great Britain odd, the exact same trade. We had the pullback and then the spike down. Sometimes, that just happens, and there's not much you can do about that. And let's just check out today's numbers to see if it's trying to pull off the same trick once again. Same trick once again. I don't know why it's not removing that. All right, same trick once again, because you can see we're trying to get a reversal right here, and no, that's way past the 50 fib in that pair. And let's check the Great Britain Oz, and that looks like it probably is right around the 50 fib level. And yes, look at that. The pair has reversed aggressively right there at the 50 fib level. It's a trade you can take if you want to, but it's not one that I'm going to jump into at this point. But you can see it worked out perfectly yesterday. If you did want to take that trade, I'll put this on the Twitter feed just for you people that don't watch it. If you did want to take that trade, you would have gone short at 167.83, and your target would have been this 166. Well, that's an evil number there, 16668, and your stop would have to be about 50 pips above that, in which Actually, or you could just put it about the 168.50 level would be really key, and look for a pushback down lower. I wouldn't be interested in that trade, but you guys might want to be. You want to take a look at some of the setups on the larger scale that we have going today, and once again, I just opened the wrong layout. What you can see is that, well, what I'll show you is that we definitely had a breakout in the. It didn't save all the changes I made today. I have more trouble with this stuff lately. We had a breakout in the Great Britain close. We had a breakout in the attempted breakout in the Great Britain JPY below this trend line, which is at 159.80. Daily close below that could indicate a continued push lower, but it looks like it's really fighting not to get below that level. In the Aussie, we're just trending. We're pushing higher towards this 195.09 level, and here I can get it better on this one. File layout. Sorry about the confusion today. You know what? I use about 5 different computers, so it gets a little bit jumbled at times. Open layout. There we go. That I have the most recent charts on it. So in the Great Britain pound USD, we broke below that descending trend line right there, right here. You can see I highlighted that, and a daily close below that, when it doesn't look like we're going to get it, would favor a continued push lower towards 157.53 level. And you can see that we just can't have anybody that wants to jump into these trades ahead of all the cluster that we have politically going on. The Aussie and New Zealand trying to push higher. While the pound, like we said, and the euro pushing lower. So what does that mean? Well, it means we're going to have some action in these Great Britain Oz pairs, and we broke below this ascending trend line. I mean, this the support level, which had held the pair in check for quite some time at 168.90. Below that does favor a continued push lower, and we could go all the way down towards the. Go all the way down towards 161.50, which used to be the old range. The Great Britain New Zealand. Same thing, break lower. We're not getting much momentum, but a target would be this 158.97, 50 fib. Great Britain JPY, we're just in this range. We're just bouncing around, and you can see as long as the pair stays above this 155.25, and now we're above this level right here, around 156. It does fit, not 156, 157. It does favor a continued push up to 160, and the Euro JPY, we're riding this trend line higher, which always seems to be the case in this pair, looking for a move up towards the 135 level. And that's about it. That's all the pairs that are really intriguing at the moment. The USD JPY, we all know that broke the ascending trend line last week, and now it's just continuing to push higher, looking for a move up towards the 100 level. All right, everybody. Great day of trading, back in the positive. All these charts that you see, obviously, you guys know are on the blog, and we'll kick it back up in Asian trading today. Everybody, have a good night.